Charlotte Soccer Show. Danny Brams and John Hayes here with a special guest. The series of great interviews we've been able to do with soccer luminaries around the city continues, and we have maybe the most special one of all here. I want to welcome Jorge Herrera to the show, true legend of the game in this town, in the game itself, really, just for everything you've done. And Jorge is the assistant coach of the Under-20 Academy, basically just an influence all throughout the development program at Charlotte FC. After a storied career for multiple clubs in this city, Jorge, welcome to the Charlotte Soccer Show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the intro. It's a special, and I'm just happy to join here. I hope we can have a good time and a good chat.
Yeah, well, I want to get to know you, and I'll let John jump in here in a second, but I just got to say, just so you know going in who you're dealing with here, I'm a fan. It's not like the club said, hey, we really want to, you guys to talk to this guy, Jorge Herrera. They were like, who do you want to talk to? And I was like, can you get us Jorge Herrera? Because I used to go to the Sportsplex, watch you play for the Independents. I moved to Charlotte in 2014, so that was kind of, in the prime of when you were doing it, scoring all kinds of goals, and the cries of hip hip Jorge used to ring across the skies in Matthews, and just absolute pleasure. A little bit of fanboy moment for me, but I will promise I'll keep it professional, and now I will let John
Well, no, the one thing I want to say, and I tipped you off on this before we started the interview, is that we're going to hand out our first ever award on the show, a trophy. We don't have a trophy. Maybe next year it'll be in the Charlotte Soccer Show budget to be able to purchase a trophy to bring around, but you're our first Soccer City legend, and we're dead serious about this, even though I'm being tongue-in-cheek about the trophy and the award. Is that one thing that we do on the show is we try to say Charlotte is a soccer city. Just the way that the game is booming and growing, and so many different teams are popping up, and the supporters are engaged, and all of a sudden you've got kids growing up in the city who are thinking about soccer as maybe their first sport, where in the past maybe you're talking about American football or baseball or things like that. So to have a Soccer City legend on the show and to be able to talk to you and call you that feels good, because it's real and it's true. So I want to know specifically, for somebody who was born in South America, who comes to Charlotte, what was when you arrived to play soccer in Charlotte compared to soccer in the city now? How different is it over the span of 15 years?
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much for the honor. It's an honor. Now that I'm kind of in a different role and I don't play in, the things are make you realize you did some good stuff, right? And it's fun, because at the time it was fun to do it, and then later on still it feels good. You know
Totally.
what I mean?
Yeah.
By some good stuff, just editor's note, second most ever goals and second most ever assists at the USL Championship.
Big deal.
When you retired a couple years ago. Yeah.
He's not just a legend for being a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, but seriously, it's an honor. It's an honor. And then on your question, it's crazy. I remember when I arrived here, it was 2007, on a trial that I wanted to just get out of the pro environment in my country, and I get a chance to come here, try out with a couple MLS clubs. By the time, didn't speak any English, just did it by myself, didn't have any agent or anything. It was just a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, that said, hey, I know somebody there, go and we will see. We'll see. I ended up starting playing with the Eagles in 2007, and I remember it was in a high school. I don't remember the name. Waddell, maybe high school, could be. Eagles. It was fun. It was super different. I was playing. I was blessed to play in a big team in Colombia called Millonarios. So when I came here, so we play against in front of a lot of people. Coming in here was a little different. Just Eagles were the best team at that point in town, and they draw a little bit of people, but it was nothing comparable, right? But now, fast forward really quick, now you go, and last year you go to the first game at home. It's like, oh my gosh. It's how many years? 7, I don't know, 15.
Yeah, about 15. Yeah,
something.
yeah,
we'll call
totally
it
right.
15. Yeah.
And then you see this is like it gave me so many chills that night. I was there. I was lucky to be there with my family, so it was super cool.
Beautiful.
And yeah, so the difference 15 years ago, you play in front of in my country, like the biggest sport. I'm from Colombia, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, we'll get there. Yeah. No doubt.
So it was different. Just
Yeah.
moving from that passion, that fans, pressure, media, all the stuff to here to play with the Eagles. That was just honestly was playing the game for fun.
Yeah, for the love.
Right,
For
yeah.
the love.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's kind of was my approach. My approach was more on the I want to learn the culture. I want to learn the language. I want to be able to speak English. So then seeing that progress in the last 15 years, what you were saying about kids playing everywhere, just the growth of the city is unbelievable. Like if you would have told me this is gonna happen in 50 years, I would say like you're a big liar.
Yeah, no doubt. Who can foresee the path that you'll end up taking for sure? And the growth has been great. And like, you know, you've been part of that growth, whether you would admit that or not. Like you've helped push the growth because like someone like me, who Charlotte's a big transplant city. People move from elsewhere to come here.
Yeah.
You did that. All of us did that. And when I came here, I'm looking for a soccer club to connect with. I connected with Charlotte Independence and saw you play. So you helped. You didn't even realize how you were helping the game grow in town at that time. You mentioned you played in Colombia for Millionario, right? Like that means millionaires, right? Like,
Yeah.
like it's a big club. And then you come to the Eagles, much smaller. Eagles still around, still playing soccer, by the way. And then you were the first ever signing in the history of Charlotte Independence when that club launched. So what was it about Charlotte that kept you here? Like when it comes to playing for the Eagles, obviously I would have to assume or presume that you turned down some opportunities to leave and go to other clubs. It's not like you eventually got an agent, right? Like you said you didn't have an agent at first. Hopefully, I don't know if you got an agent or not, but I'm guessing that your services were requested in other clubs in other cities. Why'd you stay in Charlotte?
Yeah. Once I came here, I get some other opportunities, but what it really catch me at first was the community. Mm-hmm. The community that when I came in, I was part of it. It was very familiar. I was super welcome, and I start value more that than maybe the financial opportunity or that I could have in somewhere else. I value that. I value the respect that the Eagles at the time showed to me. Then with the independence, and I just love the community that I was lucky to be part of it and be surrounded. And then I moved my family, get married, moved my family from Colombia here, and this is home for us.
We're celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, which is amazing. And so you come from Colombia, you have that heritage, and you get into town, and that community is massive here in Charlotte. How quickly did you feel the love as somebody from South America, somebody from Colombia, and then you think about the Blue Fury, one of the supporters groups that we absolutely love, and here in town, and I think the Charlotte FC specifically has highlighted how impactful the Hispanic culture is here in this city. I think maybe without soccer, you always need a catalyst, something to bring that and bubble it towards the surface. How quickly did you feel it when you moved here?
So it was as quick as when I get here. Coach from the Eagles, Coach Mark Stephens, he knew a Colombian family. So I think it was like a matter of hours that I met them because I speak no English.
Amazing, yeah.
I speak no Spanish. So I get to know the Guzman family. So they moved from town, but they were the first like Colombian family that I met here. And not just the Hispanic community, but the American community was very special always. It was just the right place for me to be.
Well, go tell me more, like go into more detail on that. What is it about the Hispanic culture in the American community that blend that just like speaks to you and made it a place that you want to build your home for so many years?
Yeah, so first of all, the American community, the way that they support a new guy coming in, always aware of, even though they didn't have the financial support or financial strength, I say. They always were taking care of any detail. Like I never always have everything what I need. They were always willing to help out. It's I need a ride because I don't have a car. It was 2 or 3 people that want to give me a ride.
Yeah.
I don't know where to go get lunch. Oh, don't worry, let's go to lunch. Little details.
Right. They got you.
Exactly.
They take care of a stranger. They welcome a stranger. Yeah.
Exactly. And at that point, I speak no English.
Right.
Like you speak
like
no
none.
Spanish.
Yeah.
And you go
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's all that is part of it, and then that growth every day with my language, with new skills, just that learning, constantly learning from me was very nice.
So you're working with the academy, and you have that experience. You come to this country, you're not speaking English, and we fast forward, and we're sitting here today, and you're speaking fluent English, and you're coaching the academy,
right?
And you've got a ton of young kids running around,
running a squad. Let's be honest.
And you're a mentor at this point, right? And your communication is wonderful. What's it like talking to these kids and working with these kids and kind of guiding them through their beginning stages of their soccer career?
Yeah, it has been very nice. It has been. I think at the beginning, when I stopped playing, I didn't know if I wanted to be heavily involved with soccer. I was coaching still, but no, I didn't get into this level now. It was a transition.
You coached high school around soccer while you were a professional player, right?
Yes. So it was different. The academy and all the pathway that we have here in the club is very professional, full time. Is very intense. I didn't know if I wanted that when I finished playing, because I knew, like, as a player, I show up for here at 9 o'clock. Train, done by noon, get back, family time,
right.
Just my time. I know the coach have to be here 2 or 3 hours before, and then he has to start 4 or 5 hours after.
Yes.
So I was like,
Right. That's when their work actually begins.
I knew it. You probably don't know, but I knew it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I wanted that, but by now it's fine. And just having that opportunity to mentor those guys on their own journeys. Every single one have a journey, and just being able to help somehow with my experiences and try to talk to them, I hope is impacting and helping them somehow.
So what made the decision? What, like you said, you weren't sure if you wanted to do it, if you wanted to make the commitment. I mean, what was the factor that said, yes, I'm going to accept this offer? I'm going.
And how did the offer come in? Who reached out to you, and how did it happen? That's what we want to know.
Okay. So that's 2019 back in December, right? So I finished my season with the with the Independence. Didn't know if I want to play or no. A good friend of mine, Dustin Swinehart, he worked here in the club. He told me after they launched the MLS Charlotte at that time. He said, "Hey, I'm gonna be involved with this project. Will you be interested?" I'm like, maybe. Let's talk about it. And he said, "Okay, I'm gonna be the director of the community engagement at Charlotte FC. I want you to work with me." I'm like, "Okay, this is cool." So transition, still with the game, right? No on the field, but with the new club, all the boom that it was with Charlotte at that time and MLS. So I say yes, so quit playing and start with the club. Start working with them, couple months, COVID came, everything shut down. Team supposed to be launched 2021, push back to 22. What are we doing with all these people that we were trying to build a team to get launched at an MLS team in a year, which was like, we were like right here.
Right.
But they decided to stay with the academy, launch the academy on that summer of 2020. And they asked me, "Hey, would you be interested to help out with the academy?" I say, "I don't doubt it. 6 months later after playing. Start working with them, start liking it, loving it, and now here 3 years afterwards.
I guess if the opportunity is, if the choice is sit at home in COVID quarantine or go out and do some coaching out on the fields, it's a pretty easy choice.
Yes.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it's just fascinating to me too, because you're at a point in your career where you're thinking to yourself, I could still play. You know, it's like you didn't say, hey, I'm going to retire and this is it. You're trying to debate, hey, do I want to play another season?
Played till age 39 and the oldest goal scorer in USL Championship history, I think, when you stepped away. I don't know if that's been broken. But I do my research.
I mean, that's badass. And by the way, you still look like you're in playing shape.
Right, exactly. You do look like you could go run out on that field and just,
What was that like?
Just for your information, I haven't played this since the last time that I played. That was my last full field game. I play a little bit of indoor.
You got a whistle,
but no. What was it?
No, he's schooling the academy kids out there. No,
yeah.
No, you quickly get the next job, which is really cool, right? So it's you're debating, hey, do I play? Do I want to take a coaching role involved with something else? That opportunity arises. Did that make it easier for you to hang up the boots?
100%. It was no doubt about it. We saw with the family, this is. We know what it was coming with Charlotte MLS at that point. Then Charlotte FC 6 months later. So it was no brainer. It was the right moment. It was basically a blessing right there. Boom. Finish soccer that you love it so much, and you in probably a better place now.
Yeah, 100%. Because I as somebody who. Danny and I haven't played soccer professionally. God didn't give us the ability to go out there and give the full 90. Maybe in another life we'll have that ability. But for us, we're thinking about our professional career. We get out of college and we work our career. When you're an athlete, things are totally different. I mean, your blood, sweat, and your tears go into it. And when it's time to hang it up, I mean, that's a real moment where you might have doubts about what's next. So it's just amazing to know that this opportunity arose for you and that you're loving it 3 years in. And I think it's, you talk about it being a blessing for you. I think some people might say it was a blessing for the club to have somebody like yourself, be able to come in here and shepherd them through what was a difficult time to launch an organization as somebody who's been in a bunch of organizations. So what's your relationship been like with, not just the academy, but with everybody in the building in general during that time when things were being launched? Yeah, it's like everybody has their own role, but let's be real, everybody's pulling in the same direction, wanting to get this MLS club launched with the right culture and the right the right working relationships between all parties.
So at the beginning, our first office for Charlotte FC was just across the stadium. I don't remember the name. Was a networking space. Mm-hmm. We have a big
the other football project.
Anyways, but at some point it was Dustin and myself in the whole office.
Just the two of you guys.
The other employees were.
Let's do some community outreach. Yeah.
Tom Glick, that was the leading the charge, and then I met Soran at that point, Mark Nichols. Dustin, I think, and then Joe was with the Panthers full time. He was one of the ones that I met that many years ago as well. But it was very few people, so I get to see a whole lot of stuff, like because we weren't. Anybody will do a meeting, and it was like, well, you have 5. It's the same 5 or 6 people for all meetings.
Right. No one has an office. This is all of our office. Yeah,
so they were in that process of hiding people and trying to build. So just seeing that. So now fast forward, now within this beautiful facility, seeing some people that was brought in at the beginning on some positions, taking leadership. Mm-hmm. Now it's cool. Yeah. Of course, as people come, some goes, and all the ups and downs, but I think it's just all the meetings, all the sayings, this is gonna be super cool. They start to flourish, and you can still see in it, and it's pretty cool. That has been like super special as well to see it firsthand.
I love that. And I want to think about some of the stuff you were talking about earlier about connection, and we brought up Hispanic Heritage Month that we're celebrating right now across the country. What has been cool for you about, I'm sure some of the academy kids that you're coaching right now maybe have English as a second language. Have you been able to connect on that cultural level because of your heritage, even from the academy all the way up to the first team? You think about Kerwin Vargas, were you able to give him any restaurant recommendations when he came to town? Like, what is that sort of your cultural and your heritage connection? How does that drive your coaching and connecting with some of the kids, the way that the city connected with you and brought you in?
Oh yeah, 100%. Just being able to speak in Spanish to them and understand their background is being good for us to understand those kind of backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
How can you approach some of the kids? You know that even though the Hispanic community is getting bigger and all this stuff, we still we protect ourselves as
Sure.
well, and we are a little bit of protecting of what we are accomplished, because having all the things that you accomplish here is super hard, even impossible in your country. So when you hold on to those, you don't want to give them away, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not easy for any person to go in that community and connect with them, because I know my people.
Right.
We know the backgrounds, right? So I know those, I understand those, so it's good on connecting with some of the kids. Unfortunately, on the first team, we just here for a couple months. So now I'm getting to know a little bit more of the first and second team.
I wonder, you're super focused on the academy.
Before we were kind of a spread. We were
Right.
working in the same organization, but not in the same building everywhere. Now it's the family and the community within the club is getting stronger. So I get to see Kevin,
Yeah.
but I haven't been able to see it out
Well,
with him and create.
Our listeners, we call them the tremendous friends of the show, TIFOs, and we have a great TIFOs named Jorge Torres, who he's going to want to know your ranking of the best Colombian restaurant in town. You know, he's a Colombian heritage himself. So, like, where do you like to eat if you go out? I'm sure you cook the best at home, obviously, right?
Yeah,
With the family,
I know, like, top of the level. My wife for the cooking, she's really good.
That's the right answer.
Good.
Yeah.
So that's a check. And then I don't know. I know Los Paisas. I've been there several times. It's good. Las Americas, another one.
Paisas is the one that I've heard is the best. So yeah,
El
need to get over
Cafetal
there.
is nearby here. There is several. There is another one just right there on Independence Boulevard, La Fonda Colombiana. So it's several.
Right. We're not short of options. Yeah,
I remember when I first came, if I'm not wrong, it was Los Paisas and maybe another one, but I knew just Los Paisas.
Right.
But now it's probably 6 or 7 that you can.
It shows the growth of the community along with the growth of the game and everything in all your time.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's funny how you can like take a window into just eating and restaurants in general, and how that can kind of display culturally what is happening, and soccer is a part of that too. I think in general, just growth. I mean, everyone talks about the growth of Charlotte just in general. Oh, it's a city that's growing, but it's growing in so many different ways, in so many different lanes. And one thing I think that's important to us on the show that we talk about a lot, specifically, and this is in relation to the first team, in relation to Crown Legacy, in relation to the academy, is kind of the blending of different cultures, right? It's not just Hispanic culture within the organization. There's cultures coming from all over, not just the Western Hemisphere, the Eastern Hemisphere as well. You go into Europe and you have players here coming to where we're sitting right now, all working together under the same building. I mean, you obviously dealt with that as a player. What's your take as far as the melting pot and the cultural blend here that's happening at Charlotte FC?
Yeah, I think it just kind of like reflect what is the city.
Yep.
100%. We have from everywhere: Africa, Europe, South, Central America, North America. We used to have a guy from Oceania. Remember, what's his name? One of the signings. We signed him, but we didn't play him.
Riley McGree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the famous Riley McGree, one of the best players in Charlotte FC history.
Yeah, exactly.
Correct.
Some people say
literally-
that's where it all went wrong.
literally for everywhere.
Riley,
It's awesome. It's and I love that. I love to know. Like, one of the things that brought me here was the language, the culture.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to know and learn, and of course each culture, each country has their own things, and I respect them, and I value all the stuff, and within the team and the organization, we have people that represent those cultures as well.
I've got one question about coaching specifically for you, and I think because coaching to me is very interesting when it comes to how it's changed specifically over the last 30 years or so when it comes to tough love compared to loving a player, right? I think coaching has changed where players want to be loved, they want to be encouraged. They don't want to necessarily be dressed down or embarrassed in front of their teammates. How do you navigate that? How do you communicate with these guys, and what's your coaching style specifically? And by the way, if you say tough love, I'm good with that too, because I think sometimes players need that. How do you decide when to give tough love and when to encourage?
Yeah, I think big part of that coaching is the feeling, the moment.
Yes.
Just knowing when to.
Love it.
That's key, because they need both. I mean, that's I guess a human being needs both.
Yes, absolutely
and
right.
the players are human beings.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So it's just that feeling where you know that maybe this guy is struggling and he wanted but he's not going. If I come and just hit it harder, but if I can be that support in that moment for him, am I gonna feel like I'm gonna find another response from him, right? When I know that he's just being there and he needs the hammer, like we take the hammer and we give it a little bit.
Yeah, totally.
Right? But it's moments. It's just finding that moment, and I think it's no. I don't know if you can go to the school and learn it. I think it's the school of life give you that skill a lot. And
Instinct.
Yes.
It's like your gut is telling you in the moment.
Exactly. And I was lucky to play the game for so many years, have a lot of coaches, being able to play in different countries. So it gives you a little more tools to get from and try to use.
Oh yeah,
cool. Yeah.
A lot of different things to draw from. Do you focus more? How do you divide your focus or your time? I guess I mean to ask, between managing the tactics and managing the man, like developing the players' like psychological mindset and attitude. Is that more of your focus at the teenage, like under 20 level, or are you more hardcore tactics? Do you need to get these guys drilled on what they need to do to get in the system of the club so they can advance up the pathway?
No. I think all the youth path is about the character, about just developing them for the real difficulties that are gonna come ahead, right? Yeah, tactics, we'll leave that for Christian and those guys that when the level is higher, those gonna be the difference, right? But at this stage, it's just making sure that they're as well prepared to walk into a dressing room, locker room full of men, and just have the personality to be one more, and on the field just say, hey, I can be as good as you, and I can take your spot. Because learning from the game, I get the chance to play against or with a lot of very talented players, super, like way better than what I was, and many players, but they never make it to the pros because the mindset and that resilience to go through those humps, they couldn't. So talent is just, for me, talent is a small percentage, and personality and be ready and that character is a lot of percentage to make it.
No doubt about it. Yeah, we talked to Jalen Lindsay last week. We did an interview with him and just learned about him and his character and how dedicated he was as a 15-year-old, as a 16-year-old, and how mentally strong that he had to be during that time in his life, when you catch me at 15 or 16 years old. Mentally strong was not my best strength, and not a lot of high schoolers' best strengths at that time. We mentioned Charlotte Independence, and this is my last one for you because we talked to him before the season started. Coach Jeffries with the Independence. One of my favorite conversations of the year. We've got nothing but love for Coach Jeffries.
And he loved talking about you.
He lit up. When Danny mentioned you, he's like, let's stick around.
Jorge's the best. What a guy.
So we want to hear you talk about him. We want to hear you talk about him. Like Coach Jeffries, what was it like playing for him and his
and seeing him still coaching the Independence in the playoff position.
He's still doing a great job.
Yeah, I have a lot of respect for him because he came in a new project, start a team from scratch. It's not easy. We work together in good moments, just battles as well. So a lot of respect for him, and I'm always gonna be very thankful with him because he allowed me to play and extend my career. All right, he was the one that's saying yes, you play, you don't play.
Good point.
But,
so,
I mean, you did keep scoring goals also, but
he could have say, hey, just take a seat.
Sure.
But I'm always gonna be very thankful with him because I was able to play for a lot of years under him. I finished my career with him. I learned as well from him, very very nice. Still in touch, not that much, but we talk here and there, and it's I'm happy that he love it. He love coaching. Like if you're doing it for that many years, you have to love it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So he's doing what he loves, and he's still putting the passion and all this stuff, and I just have the best for him always.
That's awesome. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us. I really don't have more questions. I wanted to ask you maybe about just what it was like to play in the crazy Open Cup game against the Florida Soccer Soldiers back at one of your final games of your career in 2019. But I think that still leaves a scar on too many Independence fans' hearts. So I'll just leave that one out. But it was a pleasure watching you play, and it was a real pleasure sitting down here to talk with you about your game and what you're doing now and where you're taking. Like, I want to know. I can't wait to see the players that you send us. We're very plugged into like the current situation of this team, and the first team trying to make the playoff push. That's a huge focus of all the fans here. Yeah. But we know that this club's going to be around for a long time, and the future's bright. And already seeing some guys come up from the legacy to the first team is great. Knowing that we have like an academy pipeline that's going to start pumping, fresh blood into the ranks is just absolutely insane to think about. Where we can go. So thank you. I'm excited to know that you're going to be at the forefront of that.
Thank you. I'm super excited as well. Just start seeing those guys that we have 3-4 years ago, like Jadis Camacho. I don't know if you know that.
Congratulations. First academy player to sign a pro contract.
He was the first one to do the whole thing. He was brought into the Discovery program. So it was 13s, 14s, 15s, 17s, Crown Legacy. And
congratulations to you and Jaden for sure.
Keep going.
Great. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. It's great to talk to you. Great to meet you in person, and great to give out our first Soccer City Legend awards.
When you get the trophy, I can still get it. I want to put it over there. I want to brag.
Yes, there we go.
I want to brag.
No doubt about it. The trophy case is waiting in there. Crown Legacy is going to do their part.
We'll put it next to Isaac Walker's goalie wars belt.
Beautiful. Love it.
Cheers to you. Thanks again for your time.
Thank you very much. Thanks.